All right, better. Um, so hey, I'm Kush. My research for this interactive visual was assessing the rate of development for new and innovative technologies in renewable energy. Kind of the inspiration came from when I was looking through different plans that different governments are making for the shift to renewable. Most of them are focusing on the traditional solar and wind, and none of them are like trying to incorporate or fund new technologies. We had to read a case on flow batteries for one of the 12 articles that we were given, and it was noted that flow batteries were like developed long ago, and after the funding kind of froze over there. And so I took the case of flow batteries themselves. I took the case that, let's say, um, that the research, development, and adoption of new renewable technologies, and especially in the case of flow batteries, how has it taken place in the past 5-10 years, and how does flow batteries compare to other sources of energy storage right now? So let's begin. Here's just a small introduction on flow batteries. Basically, your anode and cathode are stored in two different containers, and as the liquid flows through external pumps, that's how electricity gets generated and stored. And as you can see here, here's a graph. These are different forms of energy storage technologies. You can see pumped hydrogen, compressed air, thermal, all that stuff. This axis over here shows the lifetime of each of those, the average lifespan, and that axis over there shows the efficiency of all of these storage methods. As you can see, flow batteries, which is in the last one, has like the highest lifetime and good enough efficiency. Not as much as some of the others, but still, it's up there. Except my research kind of showed that we had achieved that levels of efficiency and lifetime, I think somewhere around the 90s or the 2000s, and ever since there has been no development in flow batteries, mainly because they're hard to store, hard to carry. They're prone to failures because the liquid is stored in two different containers and they break, and it's just a nightmare basically. So that's it. All of this is interactive. So if you go on your computer and you like hover your cursor over, you can see like the actual values and everything. So that's pretty cool. Took me a while. More so, this is just some information on the research. It's basically the same research that we had to read in the 12 articles and anecdotal reports that flow batteries were first developed years ago but have since moved slowly towards commercialization. And that's mainly because most governments try to stick with tried and tested methods. They don't really venture out in any new methods. Some concerns are like, if you fund a new method, is it going to be successful, not successful? So it's better to just stick to that. But it's like a vicious cycle because that still hinders the development of the new methods, and you're kind of just stuck with what you have. In fact, this is another chart that shows the U.S. energy storage projects that were undertaken in the year 2021. As you can see, pumped hydrogen is the maximum. It's like 92%, and then thermal is like just 2.3%. Electrochemical is 3%. Electromechanical is 2%. And in this 3% of electrochemical, flow battery is probably one of like the thousands of metals. So in the really big picture, it's insignificant. It's really just hindered right now. And that's just me expanding a little bit more on that chart over there, which is that while it may seem that electrochemical energy types are relatively lesser than their counterparts, flow batteries are gaining massive popularity. The popularity surge kind of started back around in 2015, 2016 again, when more energy storage methods had to be discussed. I think I took this information from the US Department of Energy, and in fact, it's gaining a lot of popularity now, not in the US, but in different regions of the world, especially where either you have an issue with land, such as European countries where there's like hilly terrain and not much free land, or like in third world countries, in developing countries right now. In fact, there's this clean map. I really wanted to make this interactive, but Google Maps wouldn't support me, and I wanted to throw my computer out at one point, so I decided not to do that. But yeah, as you can see, in developing countries, in Asia especially, it's like the highest right now. In some regions in the US, it's the highest. In Australia, it's the highest. Europe is also up there. Basically, places with weird terrains where you cannot have power grids that span millions of acres of land. Um, so that's really it. It just shows that why development was hindered. If the circumstances really need you to bring it back, there would be places where it comes back. Though there also has to be noted that for us to really move forward to renewable energy in like a nice, quick way, it's really important that we keep funding these new projects as well while keeping in mind to incorporate the older ones as well. I would just take a moment to discuss some maybe further improvements on this side. So before I get to that, to all the Kansai people, this thing's open source. You can contribute over here, right? So if you know it, please help me out. Please really help me out in centering a div, because this thing's not really centered. It looks centered because it's zoomed in, but if I go here, that's how this graph appears. And please help me out in making this map work. Thank you so much.